Day 57. We are still at Rollin and Jones in the South Park area of Hartsel Springs. And it's just been an amazing visit and time with them, you know, getting to meet people we never would have met but for this trail. And they've taken amazing care of us. Oh my goodness. I mean, like, I feel like we've been completely spoiled and such a surprise, like true trail magic, because it was completely unexpected and came at a really great time, you know, when we were stuck in the rain and lightning and thunder. But yeah, it's about 8:30, so we're getting ready to pack up and head back out to the trail. Hopefully make it into Hartsel this evening. And I understand there's some place we can camp there, so that's probably what we'll do, because we're going to be getting a late start, and I think it's still probably I think 18 to 20 miles away, but pretty easy terrain. Is basically walking the same road we were on to Highway 9 to get to Hartsel. So we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, just really just enjoying and savoring every moment that we get to spend with these like awesome people and their cute dog, their beautiful property. Just, what a gift. This is what the trail provides. The trail always provides, and we're very lucky. Rollin and Joan have a bunch of hummingbird feeders on their balcony, and like there's maybe a handful of hummingbirds that fight with each other and sort of wrestle for space at the feeders, but like one chases off the other, and they were here just a second ago, but I guess they're not going to come back while I'm talking. Darn, I was really hoping to catch one. I caught a couple pictures of one a second ago, so I guess I just post that. So we just got dropped back off at the T in the road where we got picked up yesterday by Rollin and Nina the dog. And oh my goodness, what an amazing experience getting to hang out with Rollin and Joan and Nina and their place here in the South Park area, I guess, of Hartsel Hot Springs. I'm not sure still where we are, but I kind of like that we were in South Park. But anyway, we're gonna make our way towards Hartsel. I guess there's really only one water source between here and there, so luckily the weather's cool. There's a little breeze, there's some cloud cover, and we can make some good time. We're full of good food, good memories, you know, from our time with some great people. Well, back at it. So yesterday was harder to see the mountains. We're walking sort of in a northwesterly direction back towards the trail. And yeah, so the actual trail is up in there somewhere. These mountains look way snowier than the ones that are behind. And it's weird too, because like that one looks like it's taller than those. It's got less snow. So we'll see. We're gonna walk this route to Breckenridge and check in on the trail conditions once we get there to determine whether or not we're going to continue walking the bike trail or go back onto the official CDT. Although we were probably going to take the Silverthorn alternate north of Breckenridge anyway, mainly for resupply purposes and also because that alternate is lower in elevation. But dang, plenty of snow still on these mountains. It's amazing because most of the people that we've talked to that are from here or live around have all said, yeah, these mountains usually are like whatever mountain is closest to them. Like in this case, Rollin was talking about Buffalo Peaks, how it's usually snow-free by this time of the year, and there's still snow on it. So yeah, winter's hanging on in Colorado, tooth and nail. Makes it a little harder to walk through. So those are Buffalo Peaks. There and there, and those are the mountains that Rollin said are basically snow-free by this time of year every year, and that's entirely unusual for there to be snow on them still. He also said that Arapahoe Ski Basin is going to be open 4th of July weekend, which is next weekend, which is pretty amazing. You know, ski areas typically aren't running on 4th of July weekend. But in Colorado, apparently, because of all the snow that's still on all the mountains, a bunch of ski areas are still running lifts on 4th of July weekend. Which actually sounds like a pretty fun way to spend 4th of July. Hiking through it, not so much. Skiing, snowboarding, maybe. Why not? At the end of the day, you get to go back home and, you know, drink hot cocoa, have a hot toddy, whatever. If you're hiking through it, typically up against the direction of skiing traffic, not so much. So we just passed over Agate Creek, which was flowing, not a ton, but enough to attract the cows. That isn't listed as a water source in the bike map, but this road junction with Pawnee Trail is. So now we're about 15.5 miles out of town, which is closer than I thought. So that's great. It's a little bit after 10. Should easily make it there in time for dinner. Yay! Nice views over here on this side. May or may not be for sale. No. But that's not nice. Kind of like this. I want you to know who I am, but I want you to stay far, far away from me. All right, Don, have it your way. So Roland told us that this giant open basin we're walking through is actually the second largest caldera in the world. The first largest caldera in the world being near, I think he's at Alamosa or Montrose, Colorado. Interesting that both of them are in Colorado. But this one, you can actually buy your very own piece of for probably next to nothing. But these spectacular views. So actually the road walk today is not that bad. We're on the same road as yesterday. So, but there's some cloud cover. More houses and I don't know, I guess people can just come out here and they buy their 5-acre lot and put a camper on it and call it good. And then their neighbors put up houses. Like, it just doesn't seem to be any consistent code or laws over what you can and can't build. But apparently if you don't fence out the cows, because this is all open range, you can get in trouble for that, which is bananas. But if you want anything to grow on your property, you're gonna fence out the cows anyway, because those fuckers destroy everything. And the views over here, really nice and completely unobstructed, because we're in a caldera where nothing is growing, and what little does grow, the open range cattle have eaten. So we're about maybe 12 miles or less from Hartsel. Just came over our last little bit of climbing, pretty much downhill or flat all the way to town, which I think is more of an intersection than anything. But fabulous views. Oh, although it's raining over there. Hopefully that blows itself out by the time we get there. But nice. It's been a nice walk this morning. It's a little warm, but now on this side of the little hill, there's wind or breeze. Little cloud cover. All good. Beautiful day. Well, that wasn't so bad. The road actually turned a little bit to sort of side skirt that little monsoony squall thing. So the wind was blowing a lot more up there. So it blew a little bit on me, but not much. It only interrupted my ability to eat snacks for like 5-10 minutes. Not too shabby. Snacks. So I've determined that there's virtually no zoning on what you can put on your property out here. But oh my goodness, look at this tiny house. It's adorable. This is my kind of setup, you know, a little bit bigger than the van, a little bit smaller than Mar-del-Lago or whatever that house of Donald Trump's in Florida is. This is fun-sized. That would be perfect. Of course, the obligatory posted, no trespassing, posted private property signs, which I find hilarious. Like, isn't that kind of like implied redundancy? Obviously it's posted, is right there, I can see it. So why do I have to have that word? But look at this tiny thing. Oh my God, it's so cute. They look super homey. They built a little deck on front. The house. Pretty great views. It's hard to see them. The clouds kind of make the snow-covered mountains melt right into the background, but I mean, dang. And like fairly unobstructable views too. There's a homestead down there, a couple homes down the way. You know, homes, just mountains, mountains, mountains all around. Just amazing. I love it. Would totally live in that. This is cool. One of the more intact versions of a homestead we've seen. Beautiful backdrop. No fence around it. I'm not gonna go in it. Oh, yeah, private property. That's okay. I'm gonna take a picture of your homestead anyway, people. Because it's lovely and you left it right here in the corner. Just wow. These mountains are spectacular. Just surrounded. Man, gorgeous. And all kinds of little wildflower explosions in the foreground. Snow-capped majestic mountains in the background. Oof. Not too shabby. This does not suck at all. It's looking like there may be a showdown at the OK Corral. And we're right in the middle. There's two bulls. Oh, there's a bull. And there's a bunch of ladies. Oh, and a baby. Yikes. Do not want to get in the way of that. Oh, man. Oh, there's another bull over there. Everyone's kicking up dust. Uh-oh. It's about to get real. And then there's us standing here like dum-dums. That bull's like pretty close. Wow. Oh my God, he's just shitting and throwing dirt all over himself. That's how you get the ladies. There you go, big fella. All gussied up and ready for the prom. Oh dear. Yeah, we'll let him cross the road. These bulls make these ragged to get the ladies to come a little bit closer. It's like, I don't know. So much dust. I'm just hanging out. Whoop. Scared the pee out of that one. Cow behavior. Not the sexiest on the planet, but apparently effective. So this is interesting. The bulls are like headed for that corner where all the other cows are on the other side of a fence, while the ladies that are on their side of the fence are quietly slipping away. Oop. Smooth move, bulls. Smooth move. They're all just gonna kick dust on each other now. If only they were on the right side of the fence, but alas, there's a cattle guard. The ingenious cow herding invention. So we thought we'd take a break here because when we arrived, it was completely covered by the clouds and there are actually some decent sitting rocks. And as soon as we sat down, the clouds disappeared, just raining down the intense heat of 1,000 suns on us. And also, I sat right next to a pile of ants and they started biting me immediately. So, needless to say, short break. Damn it. Short break. Oh my God. Insect hell. Short break. Moving on. We're just like about 7.25 miles to Hartsel. So, Yay, we should be there by 4:30. Nice. These are cool. I've never seen these like white thistles before. They have like little pink bits on the inside. They're all starting to bloom out right now. They kind of look like giant mutant dandelions. There's a bunch of wildflowers in this little section. Some of these Indian paintbrush are way brighter than usual. Bright orange, they almost look red. Pretty cool. Well, all right. Less than 3 miles from, I think it's State Route 9. We finally get off this road. I saw a car driving by on it. Always nice to see the next turn. Then I feel like I'm making progress. We've been on this road for ever. And it's been this level of exposed virtually the entire time. Although, and from what I can see of Route 9, it doesn't look like it's got any more cover than this one. Oh, at least the cloud cover, even though it rarely covers us, is keeping the temperatures down a little bit. And it's pretty much either downhill or flat all the way to Hartsel. So, yay! So I just had a little spot of service, and I was super curious about these lots out here because Rollin said that they're typically sold in like 5-acre parcels. But I mean, a huge variety, like from rocks and trees to most of it's just grass and hills out open, probably windy as a lot of the year, which is maybe why not a whole lot's growing out here. But so I looked it up, Park County, Colorado land sales, and man, some of these 5-acre lots you can buy for like $7,000. Holy crap, that's next to nothing. That's bananas. Land baron. Life goal? Probably not. But there are some cool little corners here and there, tucked away in the trees and the rocks that would make a pretty good lair, gotta say. I wouldn't say no if someone offered me a title, a deed. I'm not a realtor, I don't know what the hell. Whatever says that I get to live there. All right, finally made it off of County Road 53, where we pretty much just lived for a while. Ooh, for sale, a guest ranch. What does that mean? I guess a ranch where you have guests. That's a lot of acreage. You could have a lot of guests there, and they could never see each other. Hot springs. So I guess Hartsel was built up around some hot springs. Maybe that's the resort, and it's now for sale just a little bit south of town for only $3 million. You can own it, or for $7,000, own 5 acres somewhere back in there. 2 miles to town-ish. Hopefully we get there before that gets us. So I can see Hartsel in front of me, which is great because I can feel raindrops hitting me from behind. I figured it's back there. There's one. There it is. Yeah, I'm not trying to look back because if I look the rain in the eye, it'll hit me in the eye. I don't want to get hit in the eye. What I do want to do is get indoors up here before it really starts to get it on. It totally smells like rain. And it's pretty much blue skies in front of me. Well, over Hartsel anyway. Bluish. And as you can tell, shitstorm behind me of rain. So, I'm in hurry. I do not care to get wet again. I took off all my extra clothes because it got warm. It's nice out. Alright, Hartsel, I'm coming. Alright. Welcome to Hartsel. The sign looks like it's been chewed on. trying to keep just ahead of this storm. Basically, it looks like there's a pizza place here, a cafe bar, a country store, and then Joan said there's an espresso stand. Obviously, the basin, the country store is the furthest away. The pizza store apparently is closed today. So, I'm gonna make a beeline for the cafe saloon to get inside and hold out for this little squall, which hopefully won't last too long. And hopefully they have some Wi-Fi. That would be fantastic. Put up a few more videos while we're here. Do some commenting. Man, I'm so behind on commenting. I guess you get to the point where like you get so far behind that it's just like it's like overwhelming, the idea of just getting started. But I guess one day at a time, right? Maybe one video at a time. Just go through my notifications, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, mainly my concern right now is to get indoors, because I keep feeling these raindrops nipping at my heels. I don't know if Nightcrawler's experiencing more than that, because he's a little bit behind me. But yeah, I'm not gonna slow down and get soaking wet, you know, when I can just run ahead and try to stay dry. I think he has his rain jacket close at hand, and I sure do not. So, and I left my mosquito shirt sitting on the top of my pack, so it is definitely getting rained on. Damn it. Oh well. Mosquitoes probably like wet permethrin clothes even less than dry ones, right? That's the story I'm gonna tell myself. Anyway, hey Hartsel. When we take off out of here, we actually continue in this basin that way and then continue north. Oof. Looks like we're gonna be open and exposed for a while, unless we can find some other way maybe to get to Breckenridge. It's a little church. I think it's a little barn. I don't know. Alright, let's explore Hartsel. Pizza beer. Looks like the pizza beer place might be open after all. Can't tell what's where. We got a Mercantile Cafe Saloon. Camping. I'm gonna hide here and out of the wind. Shop in Hartsel. I don't know the names. Hopefully I don't mind me standing here and waiting for him to come. He's not too far behind, just a couple minutes. Alright, so once again our timing, fairly impeccable. It was actually raining a lot harder a minute ago, but I just finished smashing a buffalo burger. I haven't had a buffalo burger since the Trans-Catalina Trail. That was pretty delicious. The saloon here is actually really cool. They're awesome people in here. They have free camping out back for bicyclists and the occasional hiker that wanders in. They said a hiker walked by a couple days ago, but I have no idea who that might be. At any rate, obviously somebody else had this great idea as well. But yeah, so we're gonna hang out in here, hunker down until this storm passes to go look for a camp spot out back. So they told us there's free camping out back of the bar saloon, and I'm looking at our options here. Oh, it ain't beautiful. She did say that though. She said straight up it is not beautiful, but it is free. And since this is poor balls here, we have a pretty good idea of where not to camp and where we can. That's not that bad. This is fine. We'll make it work. Right across from the little church. Hello, church people. Maybe over there. That looks pretty good. I wonder if it's the same property. I don't know. There's a fence. Probably not. Damn. All right. Well, maybe behind the shut-up outhouses. Woohoo! Country living. So we're in Hartsel. It finally stopped raining at the Highline Cafe and Saloon, and we just ran into Scott and Vince. Scott's from Iowa. He came out here to do his first hike, his first backpacking trip, and he just hooked us up with a bunch of great stuff for resupply, which is awesome because there's not really a lot of offices in this town. And his cousin Vince, they were out here fly fishing today, which is, I mean, like, there's a river, it's going crazy right now, so there's probably some good fishing out there. But yeah, it's amazing. Like this trail has been providing like crazy since we went to the mountain bike trail of all things. So it's been kind of bizarre, but we're having a great time out here. And it's always great to meet people who are like into backpacking and like all stoked to do his first trip. So thank you so much for everything. So we just hit up the convenience store and picked up just last couple of things we need to resupply to get us to Breckenridge, like 50 miles away from here. And I asked the lady if there was any place we could fill up our bottles of water, thinking, you know, she'd just let us fill them up there. And she said, there's really no place in town because the hot springs that are here, the place that's for sale for $3 million, they had to shut it down originally because there was too much sulfur in the water, it was unhealthy, and also there's radiation in it. So good to know. Good to know. At any rate, we're kind of wandering around the 1 square block of town, looking for possibly a better place to camp than behind the bar, because we think it's going to be loud and probably a lot of activity much later than we care to be awake. So, wish us luck. Okay, so remember the tiny house we saw earlier? We found a tinier house. And we're gonna stealth camp in here tonight. It's a children's playhouse. Should be fine. Right on the highway. No big. We got this. Good night. See you tomorrow.